difference between what she's saying and what you're saying in a concept. In a concept seems like, okay, so she's saying do this and you're saying do this, you're saying do this and you do this. Do you know how far apart these two ideas are? Should you tell him to, you're running out of money, maybe it's time to find a job, or not? Should you give him money, or should you make him sweat it and not have money because he seems perfectly capable of getting a job and holding down a job, right? Or not? It seems like if you ask 99.9% of the people, they're going to say, this way or that way, this way or that way, right? Do you know how far away the mindset is? And this is why we train as parents, because the difference in your mindset is going to be the difference in your child knowing how you feel about them, okay? And therefore, it's such an enormous difference to a person being able to become a functioning human being. Because when she looks at the child, he feels, you get me. I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to come up with new excuses every time why I don't have a job. I don't have to say, oh yeah, well my brother, we opens a company, I'm going to work for him. When my sister moves to Arizona, I'm going to help her move, and I'm going to save up money, and I'm doing this and that. So much work has to go into saying I'm dysfunctional. But how do you know he's dysfunctional? Because you're looking at dysfunction. How much dysfunction do you need to look at to realize that he's dysfunctional, and to take all your surround, you guys put the fun back in dysfunctional. Okay, you're looking at a dysfunctional person, and then you're picking out the parts he could function, and you're using it against him. And the difference is night and day in the depth of your havana of the patient. Her way is going to make him be calm and heal. Ad kedei kach, that if he would go to his mommy and say, mommy, I'm thinking maybe I should work. And she thinks back in slow motion. And what's going on in her trained brain? I know he can't work. He tried. He had every job in the world available to him. He already worked 2 or 3 times, and he went through such busyness getting the job. And then he went down to the interview, and then starting a new thing only to quit or get fired, or it's not for me. They don't know how to treat people. The hours are too much. My boss is too tough. And I know Akenisht, he can't do it. And he's only saying it because he has to save face by me, because that's our relationship. So fake. So not real. He can't show me where his boo-boo is. He can't say, I wish I could, but I can't do this. So he's always coming up with new things and all of that. I don't want him to go through that, because when he can, he will. You're not going to be able to hold him back when he can walk. You're not. This is a one-man show. Hang on. I'm going to give you the mic in a second. You're not going to be able to stop him. How do you know? That's my job. But I have experience. You're not going to be able to stop him. Why can't you trust him? So the mindset is so different. So why do I care? Because it's not what you say to him. It's how he knows how you feel about him. You have to be shomer on his self. You have to protect him. That when he says, oh yeah, I'm almost out of money, but no, you don't need to give me money. Shefila. Of course we're going to give you money. No, but I'm getting a job tomorrow. I know you are. We have a kid here in group. They were here last night. He's 30 years old. He's a smooth talker. You talk to him, you look at him, you're looking at a CEO of a company. He talks and he can do anything, except he could do nothing. And he's 30 years old, and he's so dysfunctional, but he's so embarrassed. He's so embarrassed that he can't ask his parents for money. So he says, he looks down and he looks, maybe have a few dollars for me. And they instead of saying, oh, it's good that he, think about all the normal people. It's very good. Let him be embarrassed. And he should feel bad about it. Otherwise you're going to be supporting him for the rest of your life. They so don't have the story right here. It's not about a person who is trying to knit ice, and when he's going to be 82 years old, he's going to be sitting there and taking money from you. It's about a person who is hurt and can't can't function because he's not healthy. So the people on the outside, they don't see that. They see, oh, he looks very good. So why doesn't he work? So they give you an answer. Because he has a broken knee? No. Why doesn't he go to the gym? Because he has a broken knee? No. Because he's lazy. Because he's a manipulator. He's an Eisnitzer. And the more Yiddish you know, the more titles you have for this dysfunction. All because we cannot assume that he's really not capable. Why? Because he looks capable. So this goes back to what I was saying before. We Jewish people are amazing, we'll get to you in a minute, amazing at physical illness. We know Nebuch, one x-ray with a little mark, that's it. Uncle Moshe's coming, Mordechai and David's coming, and we have systems in place. We're never going to think that a sick person is taking advantage of you. Does he really need to have another organization? He just had a concert last week. He really can't go to yeshiva. He really says, oh, I don't feel good. Really? Maybe. No. If he had fever and he's throwing up, if you throw up, you're king. Right? One of your kids, you throw up. Forget about it. You want to die? We don't have space for that. We don't know how to deal with that. Come on, he'll feel good about himself. Get him to go. Just push him. It doesn't work that way. So, hang on. We'll get to you in a second. So the difference between not knowing this answer, and this is why I'm focusing on this, is a difference of being Hatzalah, coming to a situation. They get called on Hatzalah call, and they come there and they have no idea what to do. And we can't afford that. You need to be fully trained in a Havana of understanding what's wrong with your child. Because God forbid you misdiagnose it. God forbid if you think that it's a laziness and you respond that way, then your whole tipul with him is going to make him so much more dysfunctional and so much worse that he'll end up moving out, still not working, and you won't like who he moves in with. And you'll lose the patient. You'll lose the patient. Why is he home? Because you gave him space to be dysfunctional. Let him be dysfunctional in your home. And I don't mind if somebody comes along and tells you, I'm going to get him to go to work, and he pushes him and tells him you're running out of money, and he teaches him all that. If they take achrayus for your baby, okay, who's been hurt and who is hurt, that's fine. But if they're gonna all of a sudden you're gonna call him and say, okay, it's still not working, and now he's doing drugs, and I don't understand why, because you're making him crazy. It's so obvious that he's dysfunctional. Treat him dysfunctionally. But we're always going to have that little chirping. No, he's taking advantage. He has bad midos. You two of the most nice people in the room, right? Aren't they nice people? Why do you think that you gave birth to somebody who has horrible midos and he's such an Eisnitzer, and it's like as if you're a billionaire and you have private jets that you think that? You don't spoil your kids. You didn't raise them to be spoiled. That's not your problem. Your problem isn't that they're Eisnitzers. The problem is not that he's lazy. The problem is that he's broken. Do you know why he's broken? Okay, so either you know why, or you're going to trust. If you look at all the symptoms, you can write a book on it and do Google. Don't trust me. Google, right? What are symptoms of child abuse? What are symptoms of childhood trauma? And you'll see. Wonderful, smart, intelligent, sweet, caring, fantastic people that just can't be successful, that just can't hold things down, that can't build a life. And isn't that what you're dealing with?